Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today we're diving into a set of source materials that tackle what is arguably one of the most universally frustrating experiences in modern dating. You know the one, that deeply confusing shift when someone's schedule suddenly becomes just impossible to navigate. We'll be walking through a structured framework from the text known as the Cold Logic Protocol, which proposes a very specific way to understand these dynamics. So if you've ever felt completely bewildered by mixed signals, well, you're in the right place, because this explainer is designed to map out exactly what the source material says is happening right beneath the surface. Why is she suddenly too busy? Let's dive right into this. Have you ever felt like trying to make simple, casual weekend plans suddenly feels like you're negotiating a highly complex peace treaty, right? It's that jarring shift where a simple, hey, let's grab coffee, is met with this impenetrable wall of scheduling conflicts. It leaves so many people just scratching their heads. But according to the materials we're looking at today, beneath that wall of I'm so busy is a very specific psychological mechanism. And yep, here it is. The dreaded text, I'm just so swamped this week. Oh man, there is a very unique kind of agony in getting this exact message, especially these days. Why? Because of the modern reality of social media. It is incredibly frustrating to read that someone is completely overwhelmed with work or life while you are literally sitting there watching them post active stories on Instagram or seeing them hanging out with their friends. It creates this massive cognitive dissonance that we're going to unpack right now. Here's the number for you: 99. The source material points out the rather brutal reality that 99% of guys completely miss the psychological truth behind this sudden busyness. Instead of seeing it for what it actually is, they fall right into a trap. They take that I'm swamped excuse completely at face value, which the text argues just leads to this endless cycle of over-pursuing and ultimately a further loss of attraction.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the source material impartially defines this situation. It argues that busyness is usually just a polite, non-confrontational shield for fading attraction. And to counter that, the text introduces the Cold Logic Protocol. This is basically a framework designed to help you reclaim your time and value by pulling back your availability, matching the other person's energy, and enforcing a standard where your attention absolutely must be earned, rather than just freely given.
The framework breaks this down into 4 brutal realities. Reason 1, the availability test, focusing on testing your standards.
So, the text explains that when interest wanes, availability becomes wildly uneven and plans start feeling super tentative. But here's the catch. This isn't actually about her schedule. It's a silent test of what behavior you're willing to tolerate. On the left side here, we see the trap, the weak response. Let's say she cancels a Friday date. The immediate, panicky reaction is to scramble and say, well, how about Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday, just to accommodate her. But consistency without reciprocity doesn't build attraction. On the right, we see the source's recommended power move. You stop over-accommodating. You match her reality, stay completely grounded, and literally just let her feel the weight of her own inconsistency without rushing in to fix the schedule for her.
This brings us right to reason 2, selective unavailability, which acts as the shield for fading attraction.
The psychology here is fascinating. People rarely become universally unavailable, right? They become unavailable in specific directions to avoid direct confrontation about a lack of attraction. And this brilliant breakdown illustrates how that behavior escalates. Look at step 1. Early on, when attraction is high, she will carve out space to connect with you, even if our schedule is genuinely packed. She actively protects your access to her. But then, we slide into step 2. Suddenly, things shift to vague plans, constant rescheduling, the classic, let's just figure it out later. And finally, step 3, the glaring contradiction. She's highly active on social media, clearly engaging with the world, but somehow strictly too busy when it comes to you.
Now, the protocol warns that if you accept that inconsistent availability, you are essentially broadcasting that your time isn't valuable. You're basically telling her you'll wait around on standby. So, how does the text say you flip the script? By creating structure. You offer a very clear, defined invitation. Something like, hey, let's meet Thursday at 7. If she says she can't make it, and she doesn't offer a concrete alternative, well, you have to be willing to step back. You do not chase down a new plan.
Let's move to reason 3, predictability and scarcity, and how you might be killing the mystery. The argument here is that if you overinvest early on or constantly show that your attention is this unlimited, always-on resource, your presence very quickly starts to feel ordinary.
By always being there, you're effectively killing the mystery that drives early attraction. We see the trap of constant validation on the left, sending that good morning text every single day for zero return. It completely removes the need for her to value your time simply because she didn't have to work for it. The strategy on the right advises using implied scarcity instead. Make your attention feel like a privilege, not a blanket guarantee. You don't have to reply instantly to everything, and you should make the other person work around your schedule sometimes too.
Which leads us to the fourth and final pillar of the framework, purpose over pursuit, and the massive subconscious turnoff. According to the materials, one of the absolute biggest subconscious turnoffs is sensing that someone has made you their entire purpose. If your primary focus is solely on chasing the connection, it signals to them a deeper lack of direction in your own life. Think about it. Dropping your hobbies, skipping a gym session, or pausing your own personal grind just because a text finally came through. It communicates that you don't really have a solid foundation of your own. The ultimate power move from the text is maintaining your edge by actively pursuing your own aspirations. Chase your dreams, build a life of purpose. Shifting your mindset to your own success makes you inherently more attractive.
So to summarize the core takeaways of the Cold Logic Protocol, we have these foundational rules right here. When you're faced with that too busy excuse, first, stay calm. There's absolutely no room for panic or anger. Second, strategically pull back your energy. Third, refocus entirely on your own path and your own goals. And fourth, as a strict non-negotiable standard, never beg for her time. The whole overarching theme of this framework is about a mindset shift. It's about choosing to engage with a partner from a place of absolute strength and self-respect, rather than a place of neediness.
We're going to end today's explainer with this highly provocative question directly from the source material. Are you building a life that commands respect? Or are you just waiting for a text? It's a really powerful challenge, right? It asks you to reflect on your own daily habits and where you place your primary focus. Thank you so much for joining us as we mapped out this fascinating topic today. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and we'll see you next time for another explainer.